everybody, welcome back to City Sowers. Today we are addressing some issues in the yard. We had some massive wind blasting through all day yesterday and a little bit the night before, and there's some serious damage in the garden. But we've also needed to get some more hay because we currently have 8 goats at our house. We've got 6 babies and 2 adults, and we are plowing through hay. So I just picked up a bunch more hay, and David has been unloading it because he is my macho, awesome man. And so let's go see how he's doing. Hey, handsome.
Hi.
How you doing?
Well,
You all
it's hot
and itchy.
and itchy. But I got all 4 bales of alfalfa.
Awesome.
You know how earlier you asked me if I wanted your input on how to stack it?
Yeah.
I should have said yes. Because now I have to stack it again because I stacked it stupid. Note to self, pro tip, always say yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to pull. Because, okay, so this one we had already
This one I had to
started.
open last night because we were literally out of hay. And we go through at least 2, sometimes 3 flakes every day with all these goats eating it. So I had to open it last night.
Yeah. Anywho, so I did some poor planning. Now I have to reorganize. And open bales are not as easy as one might think to move.
Really?
Yes, I'm probably going to be demonstrating the mess you can make.
You mean the baling twine actually holds a bale together?
Yeah, okay, so by the way, this is not kind stuff. I mean, it's really tight, but these are like really heavy. I find I had this little thing here, wheelbarrow-ish thing, and I was like trying to wrestle a giant bale in, and finally I said, I'm just doing it. So I just picked up and put it on my shoulder, and I'm like, yeah. And I get here, throw it down, macho man, yeah. And I'm just covered in hay. My fingers are all cut up from the twine. I'm like, this sucks. This is the real side of farm life.
Well, maybe you should have worn gloves.
You know, I don't need input after the fact. Of course, you offered it before the fact. Sweaty. Anyway, so I'm gonna move this probably 1-2-1-2. Probably like you would have said to begin with.
Because a project done twice is twice as good as a project
This is
done
true.
once.
Pro tip. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love you. You're awesome. And macho.
Yeah.
And strong.
Hey,
You want to flex for us?
Yeah, those aren't light.
Well, these are what? 80 pounds?
Something like that.
Yeah, so the bales that we can get at the feed store weigh less. They're close to the same size looking, but they actually weigh less. These ones that I got are more compacted, so there's more hay in each bale. And I actually get these from my goat mentor friend, and we just get the hay from them because then we can be feeding the same stuff that she feeds at her place, and there's no like transition issues whenever my girls have to go over there for breeding or boarding or anything like that, and it makes our lives much easier.
Hey, look, twice as nice.
Hey, look at that.
Now I just gotta figure out what to do with this.
Yeah, we've got all that leftover straw. Don't you worry, I shall be using a little bit of it today.
Oh, good. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it over here then.
All right, you do that. I love you.
I love you.
So this is the garden, which I've been meaning to do another garden tour because it exploded and looks like a jungle now. But the wind came through and made some serious damage over in the tomatoes, and it's not too terrible over here, but you can see like the shallot is laying down, these garlics are laying down, like it was really blasting wind. And then earlier today, I've already come in here and fixed it because I didn't even think about getting the camera out, but these tomato branches were all just laying down, and I was quite startled, like, oh my gosh, all my tomatoes fell down, even though I've been like tying them up. So it was strong enough that it seems to have broken the twine that was holding them up. Like, it was really blasting. And then poor Nature's Riddle here, I'm not sure what's going on with it. It's the only one that seems to be struggling Yellow leaves, dying branches, barely any fruit set. I don't know. But everybody else is doing okay. So I will have tomatoes. Then, here, I haven't fixed the other side yet. Gotta sneak by the zucchini here that exploded. But see, like, this fell over into the walkway. These are falling over. Like, they're looking a little damaged. So I'm gonna tie these up still. And then in the patio garden over here, see, these are 4 o'clocks that were standing up, and they just got blasted with the wind. Because I was actually going to start some roselles in here, so I have to decide if I'm going to cut these or stake them or just pull them just to clear out the space so that I can plant stuff there. And see, my scallop squash here got blasted over. I keep trying to stand it up and it's just like, no. So I have to figure out how to get this back because this is the only walkway through here. And I'm long-limbed. I can step over it, but like earlier my mom came by and she wanted to look at stuff, and it's a bit of a struggle for people who are not long of limb. And then on the back over here, and see, these okras are still, I mean, that's a 4 o'clock. These okras are still fairly small, but you can see they're even like blasted over. And they had a windbreak here with the fence, which is just blowing my mind. And then I had this giant 4 o'clock over here that was like all the way up to here, and it just snapped in the wind. So that's disappointing. And there's some stuff in the front that's also blown over. So I'm working on doing a little bit of repair work here to try and make sure that things are supported and not breaking or falling apart. Now with regard to the garlics and the shallots and things like that, the one that is blocking the walkway, I'm probably just going to go ahead and cut that off. It's just the flower head. The bulb itself is under the tomatoes, and I'm not really that worried about trying to pick that until the tomatoes come out. But it is flopped across the walkway, the only walkway there, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and let it go, which is a bummer because I have really enjoyed looking at it, but sadly I am going to have to cut that shallot. I tried to figure it out if there was a way for me to stand it up, but it's just the way it's threaded through the tomato plants. It just, when it finally went over, it's going to stay over. And trying to get by it earlier, it did accidentally get just a little bit damaged in the neck of it. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. And the goats really enjoy those as a snack because I don't have a use for it right now. Because I could technically use it like I would a green onion, but I'm not doing anything with it right now. But I need to be able to walk through there. So it's a bummer. I have more that are in bloom everywhere, so I just have to suck it up and let it go. I'm gonna cut this a little farther back here. Goodbye, beautiful little shallot bloom. Oh! Dang, look at that. They're so bizarre to me with their hollowness. Oh, it smells amazing. If I was a more daring person, I'd probably take a big bite right out of that. It smells really good. Goats! Y'all want some of this? Really? You guys fall over yourselves for green onions. Come on! Fine. There you go. So while I've been working in the garden trying to get it cleaned up, David actually went to Home Depot because we have another project related to the chickens because they our chickens. And David will go into further detail about what we're doing. So let's go talk to him. Purple Pants, are you being a chicken?
This is my area I just did. This is exactly why I'm doing my project.
So, yeah. See, all these wood chips that David just put in here, I had to pull out the wheat block because they just uncovered it and the goats wanted to eat it, so I pulled it out. And that's what happens in like a day.
The good news is we know it's for dinner. It's Pimple Pants. Pimple Pants is for dinner.
They all do it.
Ah!
So
Well,
David, what are we doing?
We are no longer gonna have chickens free roaming our yard. Yeah, I'm getting kind of over them destroying the projects I'm doing.
Well, and it's not just about the wood chips getting blasted up onto the patio, right?
No, it's not just about that. It's actually, oh, she's gonna.
Betsy, what are you
Why?
doing?
Why would you go that way? Dumb. Look out. TJ, move.
Well, maybe this is why goats don't rule the world.
Yeah, anyway. No, so it's not just about that. So we just put in this grass. We have had several occasions where the chickens come out this gate, this little chicken door, and they fly right over the fence into the grass. And they are deciding to dig and peck and scratch up the new grass. And it makes me realize if we let them out on there, they are going to destroy it very quickly. In addition, the area with the lavender over here that we put in, when the chickens get in there, they just scratch the snot out of all that bark we put in, throw it out onto the grass. I'm just over it. So, new plan is this whole area over here, I know we've already barked it, but we're gonna just turn it into a chicken run. So they still have plenty of area to roam, and that will give basically the goats and the kids, the human kids, a chance to have a yard that's not covered in chicken poop, and a porch area that's not covered in bark and dirt from the chickens flinging it everywhere. So
yeah, because I sweep that very regularly, and it still will get just
in a matter of hours. So the plan is I just got this plywood because this this wood here is starting to rot. So I'm gonna replace this.
It's only 9 years old now.
Yeah, it's real brand new basically. But I'm gonna replace the front of the chicken coop. I'm gonna cut a chicken door. And we're gonna get rid of this entrance. We're gonna put in water. I got a new hose, so we're gonna run a little auto waterer over here, and we're gonna close this in and kind of close the era on the free roaming chickens. Not that like chicken poop on your feet isn't like a joyous occasion, but it's, you know, it's a opportunity to kind of tidy up the rest of the yard without the chickens destroying it as we go.
And we'll be pulling out all of the bark and the weed block that's in there, just because that will allow them to dig and get bugs and dust bathe and do all the chicken things that they do. And for any vegetative food for them, I mean, they still have their feeders, which will stay in the coop, because just in case a goat gets in the run, I don't want them to have access to the food. But David mows the lawn, they can have grass clippings to pick through, and there's ways to still make sure that the chickens will get a balanced diet, because it's not like we're throwing them into a factory setting where all they get is the store-bought food. No, they'll still be out picking bugs and getting grass and all that stuff. So we just think that it's going to be better for our family to enclose them, just because of the setting that we're in and the way that we have been changing the yard and setting it up. It's not just a blank space anymore, and they've been destructive. So it's going to be less stress on us to contain them, and really I think it's going to be better for everybody.
Now you may be asking yourself, what does this mean for this fancy new dust bathing area that David just put in? Because that's the question I asked myself when myself told myself to do this. And my wife told me, oh, we'll just move the sand over to this side.
I said that we could.
I said to myself, do you know how many pounds that is? Now, if you recall, it was 360 pounds of sand. We'll just move it.
I said that we could move it, not just move it.
I'm thinking, how much is it to just go buy new sand? I don't know.
It really
We
wasn't
could just
expensive.
cover it. It wasn't that expensive. I think we might just do that. We'll see. Anyway, that's not a project for today. Today we're gonna do the run and the door, the front of the coop, and come along. All right, Caleb, right here. Look at me. Okay. So what we're gonna do first is we have to measure what size this is because we're gonna replace this board here and this board here. This one's not as big of a deal, but you can see the goats have been chewing on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure.
Like right here,
Yeah.
here.
We're sort of using plywood instead of particle board this time. We're gonna measure how many inches is that, Audrey?
40.
40. And it's actually just a little under 40. It's 39 3/4 inches. Okay? 39 3/4.
30 and a half?
30 and a half. So what was the first number?
40.
Close. 39 3/4.
Yeah.
And what was the second one?
30 and a half.
And a half. All right, so those are the numbers. We're gonna do some cuts. And I have to tell you, whenever you use a saw, what do we always say?
Safety first!
Safety first, that's right. Oh wait, we gotta get the saw. Yeah! Saws.
Safety first!
Safety first!
Betsy, our great inspector, has to inspect every project and is teaching her kids to do the same.
And
All the kids!
And our kids.
Alright, so essentially this is what it's gonna be, right here. Oh wait, we only made one cut. I guess we go back to cutting some more.
Yeah.
You know the saying, measure twice, cut once? I forgot to measure or cut, so. So this will be the outside. Hey look, there's a perfect little safety glasses / goggle holder. And then we're gonna put a chicken door right there.
I'm the guy.
Now, in our area, we don't have a whole lot of predators. So we don't need a door that opens and closes every night. This one, originally it was kind of designed to be a ramp that comes down, that comes up, and then we just latched if we ever needed to keep them in the pen. This one, we are going to put some hooks and some chicken wire so that we can close it if we need to. But since the whole idea of this is kind of just an extension, outdoor extension of the chicken coop, we're just gonna have it basically a permanent open door that can be closed if we need to. Anyway, I'm gonna get to cutting and then we'll take off this stuff and bolt on the new stuff. All right, so the plan here is that we are gonna cut a 10 by 10 door for the chickens to enter and out of the coop. These will probably be, we're gonna put a 4-inch lip at the bottom. So I'll start here at 4, come up to 14. So that's gonna be kind of the gist of it. Right now we're working with an 8 by 10 hole, and Amanda kind of pointed out we want to get some larger breeds eventually, Jersey Giants and the like, which needs a tiny bit more. I really think 8 by 10 would be fine, but on the off chance I'm wrong, there's no harm in making it a tiny bit bigger. Once again, we're not like defending against predators. Hi, Eliza.
No, this is Daenerys.
Oh, come here, Stormborn. Ah!
Eggborn. It's Daenerys Eggborn.
Daenerys Eggborn.
Breaker of shells.
Breaker of shells. Can you hold her? Sure.
Or not.
Yeah.
That's just your opinion. I guess.
Your opinion, man.
Well, she is boss chicken, so I think that she feels that she has a right to have a say here.
She's like, yeah. Anyway, 10 by 10 hole. We're gonna make it happen. You got it. Just a little harder. Yeah.
Go, girl.
Pull hard. Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, get it. Yeah. Yep. Look at that. All right, let's see if we can find any more. Look at that. You are a professional.
You're
here.
a natural.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Caleb, watch out, buddy.
Here, stand back, you guys.
Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2.
That one.
All right, I'm gonna cut a door out.
Cut a door. Such precision, such skill.
And grace, if I do say so myself. Oh my gosh, you know what I didn't do?
What?
Safety first. It was second or third on the list
You
that time.
unsafe person.
Where did my goggles go?
I don't know,
And
where
by
did
my
the
goggles, I
goggles
mean
go?
Caleb's goggles.
Safety first, right?
Safety first or third. yard.
So another plan that we have is to replace the chicken wire that is on this coop, just because it's all bowed and pieced together with zip ties, and it's a little ghetto. But what we want to do is, since we just need this the particle board here replaced first, David is going to secure it with just minimal screws so that it's on there, but we can easily remove it for when we're ready to replace that wire. We're actually not going to replace it with new chicken wire just because it gets expensive and chicken wire is so hard to work with. And since we're not really worried about like predators getting in, since we already have a chicken door that's going to be open 24/7, we'll just use some of this 2x4 wire fencing that we have around the yard. Whenever we're ready to pull that down for the chicken run to be finished, we'll just use a piece of that and put it across here, and that'll really make it look nicer than it is now. So I'm really excited about this like new facelift on the chicken coop. Now, I will say this, the particle board held up for 9 years. This is how long that we've had this coop.
All right, so we got the wood mounted on the door, and I mean, I'm looking at this just thinking, I'm fabulous, and I'm getting ready to do some hinges. Just really feeling good about myself. And then Amanda goes, "Hey, honey, you know the grain is going the wrong way, right?" And I looked at her and I said, "Up and down, sideways, darling. That's a feature."
It's modern.
It's modern.
Modern
I'm so
architecture.
fried. Okay, so we just started doing the Whole30 diet, and I swear I'm like on day 6, and my brain is not working right. And so I mean, generally Whole30 really awesome, but like the first week as you like come down off eating all that sugar and junk we put in our system, holy cow, my brain is somewhat in a slight daze. Anyway, I'm gonna put some hinges on.
That didn't make you look crazy at all.
No, no.
As always, David is using proper tools.
California hammer.
Hammer for every job.
Hammer for every job. I'm a dentist, not a hammer. I'm a mechanic. I have a hammer. I'm making dinner. I got a hammer.
What is a meat mallet really but a fancy hammer?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Alright, so Amanda is putting the handle on the door. The reason we decided to let her do this part specifically was because she was the one that originally did the handle, and it's kind of like her piece of the project that she could always say she did.
Oh yeah.
So, not that, you know, there's a limitation to what she does, because she does it all.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Does it work?
It works!
Is it straight?
I don't know. I can't see.
Looks good.
Hey! Look, I can do stuff too! Alright, so I want to take this opportunity to update you guys on how little Rosie is doing. For those who are new to our channel, Rosie is our smallest goat. She has had some pretty significant hurdles in her life so far. She was born 6 weeks ago, and her brothers are easily at least twice her size. But this little goat was the size of about my hand when she was born. It took a lot of rubbing to get her stimulated to breathe and get moving. And unfortunately she did breathe amniotic fluid, which led to pneumonia when she was just a few days old and about this big. And so she was on antibiotics. While she was on the antibiotics, we noticed that her front knees started to grow the wrong way. So instead of going up and down, they were starting to bend in toward each other. So she was getting knock-kneed. And so that led to a series of braces and wraps, and just, it was a lot. She had a lot going on, and she was always very small appetite, and then she developed diarrhea. Like, she just had problem after problem after problem. But we finally have gotten her where she doesn't need leg wraps anymore. She's finally doing well. She's eating solids, but she is now a full-time bottle baby. Because early on as well, her mom, Betsy, was not producing enough milk to feed 3 kids. So we were supplementing her and her brothers for a while with milk from Jane. And eventually Betsy's milk production kicked in. Now she's got enough milk, but this one has been on a bottle for so long, she's not aggressive enough to nurse. Even though Betsy doesn't reject her, she doesn't pursue the udder enough. So she's now a full-time bottle baby, and she's probably going to stay that way for a while because she is undersized. So she's probably going to be on bottles for 5 or 6 months, but she's finally doing really well. She's healthy, she can run and jump without pain, and she has been disbudded. Now, other things that are just weird with this goat are that she didn't have baby teeth. She skipped her baby teeth and has adult teeth in the front, which is weird. And also her horns were growing at different rates, and they're asymmetrical. They're not straight, like they're not in alignment. But I learned that the asymmetrical horn development is actually a feature or a side effect of what's called disappearing twin syndrome, which is a case where she either was originally split into identical twins and reabsorbed one of them, or was going to split into twins but just didn't finish the job. So just another little weirdness, which may explain why Betsy's body was cutting her off from nutrition, because she was extremely undersized. This goat was so small, she came out sideways. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But now, this little tiny goat that shouldn't have lived is thriving, and we're so thrilled, and we love her, and we cannot wait for her to find a home with someone else who loves her just as much as we do. But she is definitely ready for her bottle right now, so we're gonna feed her. And we finished off our chicken door project, redoing the front of the chicken coop. We haven't finished the run yet, so we did block that door for now just to keep the goats out of it until we have the yard enclosed. But it was good progress today, and really can't wait to get the run finished so that we can get the goats out on the grass. I'm so excited. But anyway, till then, as always, this is your urban nerd with a goat herd telling you can grow where you're planted.
Your days are numbered, chickens. You destructive little beasts. I know you're just being how God created you, but you're domestic chickens. That's not your bathing area. You stupid hen, I dug that out for me, not you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Dust bathing in my bark. We're gonna try the chicken shaming technique. Shame, shame, shame. I think she's ashamed. Yep. Terribly, utterly ashamed. Daenerys, will you peck her or something? Thank you. Carry on. Oh yeah, she's yeah. I'm right here. You know I'm watching you, right? Ugh, chicks these days.